NNRG.
So the game for today is Willow, and I'm going to guess it's based on the movie, and I've never seen the movie, so this is going to be interesting. You'd think I would have seen it, because like that would have been the quintessential time for that kind of movie for me to have seen, but nope, never seen it. Anyways, let's start it up here. It is a disc file. In fact, it is 5 disc files, so yeah, this is apparently like a really big game or something. We got our intro here. This time it's Orion. So this particular intro is being a little more loose with the language, so I'm having to blur a little bit of it, but yeah, it's not terrible. We got the color cyclings and the scrolling text and everything. Anyways, not here to rate intros, here to play the game. So let's move on here. Oh, that's a weird effect. I've never seen a load do that on the C64. We've gone through how many of these now? Like 80 something? Okay, Mindscape Incorporated presents Willow. And it's slowly coming into view. I'm guessing it's going to do some kind of... I don't know, it's just going to put it on like a backdrop or something. And then the music is likely from the movie or something. Yeah, copyright 1988, Lucasfilm. Or, wait a minute, 88? I was reading details about this game online ahead of time, and I thought this was an 89 game? You know, sometimes what ends up happening is if you're at the cusp of a year, you'll have a copyright for the year that they were making the game in, but because it gets released just days into the next year, sometimes that's the kind of thing that happens, so maybe that's what happened here. So I haven't actually pressed anything yet. Appears to be doing loading of some kind. In fact, it's been loading the entire time since the title finished like fading in and displaying the information on screen. So I guess just gonna wait for it, see what happens. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. I will note it is kind of interesting seeing the Mindscape logo coupled with the Lucasfilm logo when you consider that Lucasfilm created their Lucasfilm, or they kind of branched into gaming pretty early, but I guess this is even earlier than when they branched into gaming, given the fact that they hired a different company to actually make the game. It's still loading. Oh. Okay, I started complaining just as it was finishing. That is scrolling way too fast to read. Oh. Okay. So I've got... Wait, is there something wrong with my cursor? Look at that thing. Is that the way that's supposed to look? Because that doesn't look right to me. I mean, everything else looks okay here, so let's just move the cursor up to the top, and then I'll scroll things back, and then we can start reading this thing. Okay, so oh wait, this scrolls up past the beginning? Oh, we got the credits up here. Interesting. Why do you have to scroll up to get the credits, or... Oh no, wait, it's going back into the story. Okay, so it looks like it wraps around. Okay. Okay, so let's start reading this here. This might take a bit. In a mythical land where magic is real lives Willow, a small Nelwyn? Small Nelwyn farmer who yearns to be sorcerer. Wait. In a mythical land where magic is real lives Willow, a small Nelwyn farmer who yearns to be sorcerer. We're in the first sentence of this story, and there's a grammar mistake. It should be yearns to be a sorcerer. Holy jeez. If the rest of the story is written this badly, we're in trouble. Okay, so Willow becomes guardian to a baby girl of the Daikini race, large warlike humans feared by the Nelwyn people. According to prophecy, this special Daikini... Is it Daikini? Daikini? Child will destroy the evil sorceress Bavmorda, queen of Nockmaar, and end her reign of terror, unless Bavmorda can seal the doom of the child first. Seal the doom. It's an interesting phrase. Our story begins in the dark recesses of Nockmaar Castle, where a common Daikini mother has given birth to a baby girl with a prophetic mark on her arm. Ethna, brave midwife in this childbirth, has discerned the little child's destiny. Disregarding her own safety, she takes the baby Donna. For some reason, it's very tricky to read this particular section of the story because the words are blending together between the lines because they're so similar. Just take, I can even point it out. We've got child there and child there, but this is childbirth and childs. And then we've got the quad of T's here almost. It's like 3 T's forming almost a square. And then discerned with disregard right below it. And the D's match up at the end. These 2 lines of text here, they merge together when you're trying to read it. Anyway, she takes baby Alora down and flees the gloomy dungeons of Nockmaar Castle, sending the baby floating free on a small reed raft. When the infernal Bavmorda learns of the baby's abduction, she sends her troops and their terrible death dogs out into the surrounding countryside. But baby Alora has been found and is safe with Willow Ufgood and his family. Okay, this is weird. I'm continuing to scroll this, and there's just more and more story, but it doesn't sound like backstory anymore. This is reading like it's actual story to the movie. It almost feels like it's transcribing the movie in short form in a sense. That's very weird. Is this a game or is this just a story? I mean, the thing is, this thing is 5 discs big. It can't just be this 1 page of text. And we're already at the credits. What? Okay, there's something else that occurred to me here. When you're reading the story here, you see this word dungeons? It's in a different font than the rest of the words. And if we keep scrolling down here, we're going to see that, Nockmaar Woods also is in a different font. So maybe I have to click on those? Because if I just push the button or anything, spacebar, whatever, nothing works. But maybe I have to click on those words. Let's find what the first word is, so that way we can start at the start. Okay, Willow. Willow is the first word that's in a different font. So if we hit the button, okay, that actually does something. Okay, I was beginning to worry that maybe this wasn't actually a game, but actually maybe it's still not a game. We're gonna find out. Or more specifically, we're going to find out after a disc swap. Insert disc 3. Wait. That seems a little weird to me. Because if this is the start of the game, why are we going from disc 1 to disc 3? That just seems weird. Anyways, there goes disc 3. Hit return. And yep, I see the load light. Hopefully it works. And I'll see what loads up here. Ooh, boy. So this has been loading for a solid minute now. Hopefully this isn't indicative of how long the loading times are going to be, overall in this game. Hopefully it's just doing, 1 big load and then the game will just play as normal. But given the fact that it took a bit to get that title screen to come up, I'm not super confident about that. And we just hit 1:30. Okay, it took 90 seconds to load in here. Okay, so we've got a dungeon area. All things considered, for Commodore 64 graphics, this isn't looking that bad. It's monochrome for the moment, but it's not loading anymore. Do we do anything? Oh, we just pushed the button and now we got our cursor. Okay, that actually looks more normal. That looks like a magic wand of some sort. So maybe that's what it was supposed to look like on the story screen, but for some reason oh, I can't move the cursor any higher. Wait, what? Ethna is captured by one of the castle guards. Okay. And now what? Nothing's happening. Do I gotta push the button or... Okay, pushing the button started loading. Uh-oh. So about 1:10 later, I now have this screen and a candle lit up. There's a bunch of other candles flickering, and I don't know what's going on. Do we hit a button or... Oh, hitting a button just makes everything go away. And now it's doing more loading. Wait, did I just spend 70 seconds of loading to get a screen with candles on it that were flickering, and now we're back to loading? What? I mean, okay, I know the Commodore 64 has loading issues because of the way the interface works between the system and the disk drive, which makes it much slower than it really should be. But 70 seconds for one screen with candles on it seems a little excessive even by those standards. Okay, we're back in here again. So my guess is we gotta click on something. Well, we can't move the cursor any higher than that, so why don't we just go through a door then? Okay, that works. So a heavy door closes, Ethna is locked in an empty cell. Okay, so now what? Okay, so now the screen changed a bit and we're loading again. We're loading again. What are we loading now? I have sat through so much loading and I have barely played anything. And I'm back to the candle room. And another candle has lit up. It's like it's tracking the number of times I've failed or something. Is that it? Like, if all the candles light up, is it like game over? Is that how this works? Oh, jeez. And it takes so long to load this screen. One screen, and then when I push the button, it goes blank, and then it's another 90 seconds to load back to the beginning of the section I was in. Okay, I'm pretty sure most people by now are aware of the hot mess that is the attempted reboot of Sonic the Hedgehog in 2006. That game was notorious for basically having to reload everything every time there was like any kind of like state change. So like you go to do a side mission. Oh, it has to reload the entire area you're in to show the dialogue. And then once you watch the dialogue, read the dialogue, which is like one dialogue box, now it's got to reload everything again in order to load in the mission details. So it's like you've got 30-second load screens constantly in that game because of the fact that it's having to reload everything all the time. Well, that's the impression I'm getting here now with Willow, is that every time you make one little mistake, you spend an entire length of time loading a very simple death screen, and then you finally spend more time loading back to the start of the section you were in. And yes, it has been loading this entire time I've been describing this. This is comical. Okay, so I guess I went the wrong way, so maybe I gotta go left this time? Okay. Oh, we got a little spider in the corner. What happens if I click on the spider? Oh, it just brings me back here. Okay, then. So, try going straight. And then we got some green moss. I can't move the cursor up to it, though. Let's try staying to the left for now. Nope. Heavy door closes. We're locked. Now we get another what's 70 plus 90? 160. Another 2 minutes and 40 seconds? 2 minutes and 40 seconds of loading to restart this. I'm just gonna warp speed. I am going to warp speed this because that is insane. Okay, so go to the left, go straight, and now let's try straight again. And that's not it. This is just luck. This is just trial and error the game where every mistake wastes 2.5 minutes of your life. Okay, left, then straight, then right, then straight. Oh, we got like a potion? It doesn't do anything. Straight again. And then left. I'm just guessing here. Nope, that wasn't it. Okay, left, and then straight, and then right, and then straight, and then straight again, and then right, and let's do straight, straight again. Oh, now we're down to just single paths to take. Straight? Nope. Okay, left, and then straight, and then right. Come on, right. There it goes. And straight, straight again, and then right, and then straight, and then straight, and then left because there's nowhere else to go, and then right. Please be right. It's not right. Can I ask a very, very simple question? Who in their right mind thought this was a good way to treat a movie-based game? Something with the freaking LucasArts title behind it. Like, this looks nice, but it plays like the worst game of Simon ever. Because it's not even telling you where to go. It's not even giving you hints as to where to go. This is trial and error, pure and simple. I just noticed the final candle finally lit up. So, does that mean we're done? Are we screwed? Is the game over? Are we still gonna play anyways? Do the candles not matter? Like, does anything matter? I'm losing my mind because this game is giving me nothing to go on except a maze that's not even fun. Oh yeah, I'm definitely run out of lives or something because it's telling me to go back to disc 1. It's just... I have no idea how this got greenlit. Like, this is the worst way to start your game. I mean, the whole point of a game being a game is to be able to play it. Oh, it just it had to go through 70 seconds of loading to get a game over after putting the first disc in. You couldn't fit the game over text on every individual disc. Well, I mean, at least it's on disc 1 now, so it'll load back up to the story, and then, well, here's the thing, is that I noticed that Willow wasn't the only word highlighted, so maybe if there's maybe the other words will, like, bring us to different points in the story, and then maybe we'll get to have some real gameplay. I'd like some real gameplay, please, not this trial and error nonsense. Okay, so let's go down. We'll try a different one. Dungeons. Wait. She takes baby Alora, Donna, and flees the gloomy dungeons of Nockmaar Castle, sending the baby floating free on a small reed raft. Okay, so I think that's what we were doing, is we were in the dungeons. Like, look at this picture here, right? So we were probably in the dungeons. So if I click here, is this going to bring us to the end of the dungeons or back into it? I'm scared. Not because... Okay, we're just going to do it. Just going to do it. But I'm scared because of all the loading that someone would have to sit through if this were not an emulator. In fact, I'm going to warp speed this right now. We're all going to find out as... Oh, right, disc 3. Insert disc. Disc inserted. Okay, go. So, we're all going to find out together, as it's warp speeding, where it's going to bring us. Is it the dungeons? Did we pick wrong? Oh yeah, we picked wrong. So how do we actually get back to the main thing? Like, escape doesn't work. Or maybe it will now that I got a cursor. No. F1, F3, F5, F7. Do I have to reset the game entirely? Oh boy. Okay, so the next thing in here that's a different font is Nockmaar Woods. Let's pray for something different than those freaking dungeons, because that was atrocious. So, Nockmaar Woods, like, well, I'm not sure what we're gonna do here. Well, maybe it says, the High Aldwin learns of the baby's presence in the village. Consulting the bones, he determines that Willow must journey into the Nockmaar woods. Give the baby over to the first Daikini he meets. Uh-oh. Okay, so now it's asking for Disc 2. I'm slightly worried this is going to be the exact same gameplay and just a different setting. If that's the case, like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. This game... You know, here's the funny thing. Before I started recording, I looked up the game online, like, to make sure that I got the region correct and everything, which, by the way, the emulator's in PAL mode right now, even though this is an NTSC game, because the intro loader for it is a PAL intro loader and crashes in NTSC mode. So, yeah, like, because that sometimes happens. You got these intros, the crackers from one region are bringing the game over and then converting it from NTSC to PAL or vice versa. So that's probably what happened with this copy that I've got. But yeah, the thing is, I was looking up details about this online, and when I saw the ratings that people were giving this game, I was thinking to myself, those are pretty bad ratings. I didn't think I've never seen the movie, but from what I understand, it's not that terrible of a movie. I don't think people call it a great movie. Like, I could be misremembering, but the thing is that the ratings I was seeing online were really bad, and I couldn't for a moment believe something based on a movie like this would be that bad. Most movie-based games aren't that good, but they're usually not terrible. But this is terrible so far. So I guess we're going to see, like, are we going to get some different gameplay here? Or is it just going to be the exact same gameplay, just point and click on things and hope you don't die? You know, the other funny thing is that I've been watching the loading indicator, which tells me, like, where the disk position, where the seeking is happening on the disk, and it just goes all over the place. Like, whatever data it's loading is not contiguous on the disk, which makes the loading times just that much worse. Like, if it was reality, it would take time to reseek the head this many times to load your data. Like, that's just very bizarre that they wouldn't, like, put everything contiguously to make sure that to make sure the loading times wouldn't be this bad. Like, I mean, they'd still be bad, but they wouldn't be this bad. Okay, this is different. Hooray, different gameplay. What do I do? Oh, I had to push the button first. Wait, I had to push the button first. Whoop, and I just... Sorry, I was lost in thought there for a second because something interesting and something very interesting occurred to me just now. Because... Well, let me hit the button so that it will actually... Or... Wait. Don't tell me it's got to load the candles. You're not going to load the if you don't load the do not load the candles. I do not want to see a screen of candles after 70 seconds of loading. Okay, it's not the candles. Ha 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 ha. So you think you can defeat me. Not this time, little one. Try again if you dare. Okay, so I spent some time loading that. Oh, emulator crashed. It's not even a perfect dump of the game. Okay, I've restarted the emulation, got back to this point, and here's the thing that blew my mind for a second. Nothing's happening right now. And this was actually, this is the same sort of behavior that was happening back with the dungeons even, is that nothing was happening, but when I pressed the button, things started happening. And it occurred to me, during the last segment where I was speaking, it occurred to me that the reason nothing is happening is because the developers knew the loading times were excessive. And because of that, they made it so that once the load was finished, nothing would happen until you press the button to confirm you're ready to play. I mean, we've seen games that do that before, but the thing is, most games that do that actually have a message that says, press key to begin, or press button to begin. But here, nope, it's just totally blank. You just have to know, oh, I press a button, things start happening. Here's the other thing. You might be thinking, oh, maybe you should have looked at the manual. I did. The manual for this game just tells you the basic functions of what's going on and doesn't actually tell you what the gameplay itself entails. So, with one exception, there was one particular section later in the manual that detailed some pretty complex controls, almost like fighting controls. So I guess maybe there's a fighting section like later in the game. But yeah, so manual's not much help either. Not to mention, it looks like we've got like 3 lives down in the corner, and yet it said to try again and was like about to maybe load something until it crashed. Anyways, let's see if we can... Oh, those are shots I can fire. Okay. There we go. So that like stuns them. But now the problem is I kind of wasted the shot accidentally, so hopefully we can still make it despite that. You gotta get through these woods. Oh, there's someone coming with an axe. Let's not get hit by that axe man. Are we going to the river? Or no, we gotta get across the bridge. This control's a little weird because it doesn't seem to be constant in terms of the speed that you move at. But I'm getting there. Okay, that goes off the screen. Okay, did I make it? Like, the border changed color, everything stopped. But it's not loading anything. Oh, I had to push the button first. So either that was like the first section, or a second section, or I successfully cleared the section, and this would now move on to the next part of the game? Maybe? Like, I mean, I said I read the manual, so going back to what the manual said, apparently if you select Willow... Okay, success! I cleared this part of the game, I guess. But yeah, so if you click on Willow at the start of the story, that's basically saying you want to go through the entire experience, all sections of the game, in sequence. Whereas if you click on one of the specific sections, then it's kind of like a practice mode. You only practice that particular section. And then, yeah, it's going to bring us back to the story screen now. Okay, so I've been recording for almost an hour. So let's just do one more section and call it. Where is the next section? I would have thought I would have seen a different text word, different font. No, Nockmaar Woods. So I guess you gotta go quite a ways down before you get to the next part of the story. Like, I mean, it's changing the font for the first letter of every section, so that doesn't seem like it's one of the words we could click on. Yeah, there's a lot of story here. Oh, ice caves. There we go. So I guess we're going to some ice caves. Take your bet. Place your bet now. What disc are we going to have to put in for the ice caves? Did you guess disc 4 out of 5? Then you're right. So let's go put that disc in. The virtual disk, hit the return key, and wait through an abysmally long loading the sequence, which I'm just going to warp through. Now that I know that the game doesn't actually start playing, so now I can safely warp and not have to worry. Okay, so we've got this sort of very white screen. This was on an actual monitor. This would be kind of difficult to look at. So I hit the button to start playing. Okay, so my guess is that we're gonna have to like oh. I smashed into a wall, I guess. I'm guessing there were like turns we were supposed to take, but it was hard to tell like what everything was. And once again, we've got the ha 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 screen. So is it gonna crash again? I mean, it's loading, so hopefully it's not gonna crash. Oh no, it wants me to go back to disc 1. Are you out of your mind? You get 1 life in the ice cave section? Yeah, we're back here. You get 1 life in the ice cave section, and then you're toast. you have to go through all of that loading back to here to try it again. Why would you make the game like that? Especially when your first dungeon section, which is equivalently trial and error like, gives you multiple attempts before sending you back to the story screen. Oh boy, so that was Willow. Yeah, this is a terrible game. This game was like, okay, I say terrible. The graphics, the story presentation, like the way it's presented is not terrible. In fact, it's pretty decent for C64. But the actual game of this game is abysmal, coupled with incredibly long loading times, which have no right to be that long, considering the kind of things we've seen on this show, which load so much faster. Okay, maybe not so much faster, but faster nonetheless. Like, it's rare to have a game that exceeds 1 minute on the load time. This is exceeding 1 minute on every load time. So yeah, that was Willow. I'm never touching this thing again, and I recommend none of you do either.